Bread mold experiment by Isabeau Blackie. Bread mold, which equals bread mold. When I got the experiment, me and my friends were very excited. But I was questioning what I was going to do, and I decided I would take two different types of breads, white bread and rye bread. I realized the first thing I had to do was make an aim. So then I thought my aim would be to observe which will go faster, on Woolworths bread or soft rye bread. I realized the next thing I had to do was variables. Variables are very important when it comes to the experiment. The first variable I used was the independent variable, which is the one part of the experiment you change, which was the different types of bread I used. Second part was the dependent variable, which is what you are measuring in the experiment, and I measured the bread mold. The controlled variable was what you kept the same, which was the amount of water I used, and I put the breads in the same place. I will make this a fair test by putting them in the same type of container and giving them the same amount of water and putting them in the same place. My hypothesis is that the white bread will go mold faster because the rye bread is too dry. The next part was safety measures, and I didn't want to do this part, which I had to use gloves, washing my hands, and masks. Apparatus: 2 containers, a piece of rye bread, a piece of white bread, a bottle of water, and cling wrap. The method: I put 1 slice of rye bread and 1 slice of white bread separately into 2 containers. I put plastic wrap on the bottom of both containers, optional. I squirted 4 drops of water on each bread. I put a cover on top of each container, and step 5 I observed. Of the 7 days of my observation, I observed that the mold on the white bread grew faster than the mold on the rye bread. As you can see by my data, I took pictures of it each day. The mold kept on growing and growing, but on the white bread the mold grew faster, as you can see on the photos. On day 7 I took a picture back to front of both photos of breads. And as you can see, I took apart some of the bread and I realized on the white bread there was black mold. My conclusion is that white bread is more effective to growing bread mold.